Welcome to reading every X-Men comic ever, the series where I read, recap, and rank every X-Men comic ever. And this week, I return to the unorthodox couple that is Wanda Maximoff and Vision, with Vision and the Scarlet Witch, Volume 2, by Steve Englehart and Richard Howell. This miniseries has 12 issues, which is triple that of the last Vision and the Scarlet Witch series. However, that increase in issues doesn't necessarily mean an increase in quality, but I'll get to that later. First, we need to go through the series proper, so spoiler warning for those who care. We begin with our titular duo quitting the Avengers after getting harassed by Gyrich. Shocking. After the event of Avengers 254, where Vision was taken over by some computer-based villain, they mentioned who it was. I don't care, it doesn't really matter, whatever. Wanda and Vision then head to New Jersey and look into getting a new home. Their last one got torched by bigots. But they're interrupted by Black Talon and Necra, who are trying to capture the Vision for Grim Reaper. This ending leads directly into West Coast Avengers number 2, which I didn't read. Now, look, this series, Vision and the Scarlet Witch, is already on the edge of qualifying as an X-Men book. I'm only reading it because Wanda is our main character. West Coast Avengers is not going to have more mutants in it, and I don't care about this storyline, so I just decided not to read it. If you want to read it, go ahead. Feel free. Just pause this, go read it, come back, pick up from here. Or you can just use your imagination and make up what happens. I don't really care either way. All that really matters is that the crossover with West Coast Avengers bleeds into issue 2 of Vision and the Scarlet Witch, with pretty much everyone captured by Ultron and the Grim Reaper. See, Grim Reaper wants to get his brother Simon Williams back by mind-melding the Vision and Wonder Man into a new body, but instead Wonder Man and Vision confront Reaper and convince him that Wonder Man, at least, is the real Simon Williams. Reaper responds to this info by jumping off a cliff. Seems like a very sane person behavior. All the Williams family nonsense is kinda confusing, but all you need to know is that Wonder Man accepts that Vision as his brother. Martha Williams, Simon's mom, also accepts Vision as her son, which means she now has 3 sons between Simon, Vision, and Eric Williams, the Grim Reaper. I guess she only has 2, because the third one just jumped off a cliff. Oh well, you get the point. After this, Vision and Wanda go for a walk and talk about having kids, but stumble upon New Salem, the village of Wanda's teacher Agatha Harkness. Unfortunately, Agatha was killed by her grandchildren 6 months ago, and said grandchildren now plan on sacrificing Wanda and Vision to their gods for the winter. Instead, Wanda takes their magic, throws it back at them, kills them all, and then using the rest of it on herself, wishing for a child. Ending myth here, it wasn't Wanda who defeated the witches, it was Vision. Wanda just soaked up all the excess magic and released it into a mountain, and then also used some of it on herself to create a person. I was wrong here. Somehow this works, because weeks later, back in Jersey, Wanda confirms that she is pregnant and tells Vision. And while Vision's very happy, he wants to protect his new family from the bigots who burnt their last house to the ground. He doesn't find the bigots. He does, however, find some new neighbors, Ilya and Glynis Zarkov. They're stage magicians who go by the names Glamour and Illusion, and they also have actual powers. Of all of the new characters introduced in this book, they're probably my favorites, but that may just be because they just pop up every few issues. Meanwhile, it's Wanda who finds the bigots while she's on a walk and yells at them for being bigots, as you should. Apparently being pregnant was enough to change their minds, so all's well that ends well, I guess. Moving forward a month to Halloween, and as such, Wanda has annual rituals because she's a witch. But they get interrupted by the same loser from the first issue of the last book, looking to get resurrected via her child after she brings Wanda to the dead realm. She's saved by Agatha and Vision. It's a whole thing. I don't care about this motherfucker. Moving on. We then jump to the next big holiday, Thanksgiving. Wanda and Vision host a Thanksgiving party and invite all of their friends, including the Avengers, and Doctor Strange, and Vision's new mom, and their real estate agent Norm. Wanda's brother Pietro, his inhuman wife Crystal, and their daughter Luna also attend, and everyone has a good time until Magneto shows up. This makes it awkward for everyone, because pretty much everyone at the table has had an encounter with Magneto before he went good. In Magneto's defense, he was invited by Wanda. He didn't crash the party. Unlike Toad, who does actually crash the party with robot clones of the OG Brotherhood, except for Wanda. Here's the thing. The entire reason he does this attack is because he is still in love with Wanda from way back in the Silver Age, when they were on the Brotherhood together. Now, it's been a bit since I've read the Silver Age stuff, but in his 11 total appearances in the original X-Men run, I don't remember Toad ever remarking that he had a crush or was in love with Wanda. I remember Mastermind doing it in issue 3 or 4 of X-Men whenever the Brotherhood first showed up. I remember Mastermind doing it. I don't remember Toad ever doing it. Maybe it happened in some of his non-X-Men appearances, because he had a few Avengers appearances. I don't know. It's just weird that they remarked that this happened in the Silver Age when I don't remember. Me again. This book never directly references the Silver Age when it comes to this romantic relationship. It says he had a crush on her in this book and nowhere else in the Silver Age. It just made it up. So I'm right here, but there's no reason I'm complaining about it because this book just made it up. Okay, cool. I may or may not be back again. Happening in the Silver Age. Whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter. He's here now, and he's stopped by Vision, Magneto, and Quicksilver. And that's the end of that. After this encounter, Vision wonders more about his actual physical body's past, investigates the remains of the robotic duplicates, and then stops Toad from escaping prison. Kinda. Not really. Toad does escape prison and Earth, but Vision stops him from escaping the solar system, so that's something at least. Maybe? On Martin Luther King Day, a demon comes back looking for revenge on Wanda, Vision, and Luke Cage, and the idols of Zor. So Wanda leads the demon on a wild goose chase while Crystal destroys the idols at their house. And then on Mardi Gras, Wanda and Vision travel with Glamour and Illusion, where Enchantress seduces Vision into stealing a gem, which he fails to do because it was already stolen by Glamour. These two issues are whatever. They're okay. This now brings us to issue 10, where it's revealed to everyone that Crystal's been having an affair with Norm, the real estate agent. And the only reason it comes out is because Crystal falls into a coma for having taken too much of the allergy medication humans have to take to be on Earth. And no one understands why she was going to Earth so much. Pietro doesn't take this well at all and just leaves. We never see him again for the rest of the book. Me again, probably for the final time. Just for reference, the reason I'm so dismissive about this whole cheating scandal thing is because Pietro's a dick this entire book, especially to his wife. So, not saying it should have happened, but I'm not surprised it did. Also, we do see Pietro again. He is randomly in Antarctica and yells at a random guy on a dog sled about marriage. It's real weird. Our second to last issue has Wanda and Vision prepping for the baby. She's only about a month away. And of course, now Toad shows back up, pining for Wanda yet again, only to be repulsed by her pregnant shape. Also, Spider-Man's here, and he trades Toad stories with Vision, because Toad's been harassing Vision and Wanda, but to Spider-Man, he's just been a guy. At least this kind of fills in what Toad's been doing all this time. A little. This brings us to the final issue of the book, where Wanda has the baby. Or should I say, babies? Because it turns out she has twin boys, Thomas and William. Or Tommy and Billy, as they'll be known. Meanwhile, Wonder Man and Magneto stop Necra and a resurrected Grim Reaper from getting to Vision. But yeah, congrats to Wanda and Vision for their new children. I'm sure both of these boys will live long, happy lives. And not at all be erased from existence in 3 years because they're actually soul fragments of the devil. And the mental strain of that eventually causing their mother to break, destroy the Avengers, and wipe out most of the mutant population. Yeah, I'm sure everything will be fine, though. You guys will be great. So, my thoughts on this book? It's fine, but it did make me realize that I just don't really care about this relationship or these characters all that much. I'm sure there are people out there who really like them and really enjoy this book. Hell, you watching could be one of them. And that's great, but it's not for me. I'm not one of those people. I think Toad coming back was kind of cool. I enjoy all the references to the Silver Age, and I really liked Magneto's appearances. But other than that, that's kind of it for things I was really actually interested in. most of the book for me was just kind of okay. As a whole, this book ends up with the same score as the last one, a 6.5. Now, if I had to choose, I would probably still recommend this volume over volume 1, if only because its length means you get more to enjoy throughout it instead of volume 1, where it being 4 issues and the stuff I enjoyed being in the latter half. Speaking of individual issues, if you know how averages work, you should know that an even 6.5 probably means that there's an equal amount of 6s and 7s across these 12 issues, in which case you would be right. However, despite what I just said, the better issues for me were the ones in the later half of the book, but there were a couple up near the front, which is nice at least. But yeah, that's all for this week. A bit of a shorter one this time, but if you did get all the way through it, I really appreciate it. If you could hit any of the buttons down below, that'd be even better. If you have any thoughts or comments on this series or any of the others I've covered ever, leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and if they're questions, I'd love to answer them. If you've missed any episodes, the entire playlist is in the description below, and subscribe to stay tuned for the next one, where we return to the first class of X-Men. See you then.